Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry I haven't done an update recently. I've been really busy. So what I'm going to do in this video is show you how to do the advanced menu creation on your disk when you're putting it together. I know that a lot of people have requested it, so I thought it was about time I did it. If you haven't seen my basic version yet, then watch that before this one. Hopefully you've already seen it though. Because it'll help you just understand the basics of creating the menu for your disk. So go and watch that now if you haven't seen it yet, and then come back to this one. If you've already seen it, then you can carry on watching. So for the starters, you need to click on this button here, create disk, and then DVD. Like I said, this is shown to you in my first video. So, in my first video I just basically showed you what this is all about, and I didn't show any fancy things like adding chapters or creating a menu or anything. I was just showing you how to put the raw file onto a disk so you could watch it. So in this video I'm going to show you in depth things that you can do, adding chapters, adding fancy backgrounds, music and everything. So, to get started, I'm going to show you how to add and edit chapters. Hopefully, by this stage, when you're on this screen, you should have already got your project behind. So you've click Create Disk when your project's opened. It's essential that you have your project opened when you do that, or your project will not open here. However, you can add video files with this button here. You can also add a VideoStudio project with this one. So if you haven't got anything in here, then you can add your VideoStudio files or your video files in here. So I'm going to start off by creating a chapter. Now you'll notice that Add Chapter is not lit up, but Auto Add Chapters is. So I'll start off with Add Chapters. It's not lit up because we're at the beginning of the video. When you move this scroller to somewhere else in the video, you'll see that the Add Chapter button lights up. So if I click Add Chapter, you'll notice that this section, this part of the video, has now been added as a chapter. So this is now, well, this is beginning, and then this is chapter, well, it is 2, but really 1. So we've got beginning and chapter 1 or 2, depending on what you want to call it. You can then move the scroller to another part in your video and click Add Chapter again. You've then got your third chapter. If by accident you click in the wrong place, or you decide you don't want that chapter anymore, then it's very easy, you can just click Remove Chapter. And if you don't want any of them anymore and you want to start from scratch, just click Remove All Chapters. You'll then notice that they've all been taken off. So you can then add your new chapters to your project. Right, the second button, Auto Add Chapters. If you click this, you'll see that it comes up with a screen and it's asking you when you want it to add each chapter. So it defaults to every 3 minutes. I would assume that would change depending on the length of your video. As this is a very, very short video, it would be just 3 minutes. So you can change that to what you want. I'm going to choose every 1 minute. So I click OK, and you'll notice that a chapter has been added every 1 minute in my video. I think this video is only a total of, it's 3:52, so it would only have 3 chapters in it. Right, that's the basics of the chapters. You can play around with that and understand it a bit more for yourself if you want to. Right, the second part is creating the menu. So make sure you've got that ticked and then click Next. You'll then see here there is a gallery with the Smart Scene menus, text menus, thumbnail menus. You can choose from any of these to have as your project menu. I'm just going to pick one at random. I'll choose this one. This is now what my basic menu is going to look like. So I can now preview that. And you'll see it's just come up with the default text. And it's all animated here. So I'm happy with that. So I'm going to click back. And then, whoops, sorry. You can click on Add Decoration. You can then add different objects to your menu to make it more stylish. So I'm going to choose this hand pointing up at the video screen. You can choose anything you want, anything to make it a bit more stylish. You can then see that my hand is pointing up here. You can also edit the things, the text here. You just double click on it and then you can type in what you want your menu to read. So for mine, I'm just going to call it an example. You can then see it says example menu on here. It also says untitled. That's because my project name is called Untitled. But you can also change this. To whatever you want. You can also move things around. So you can see that this is the play button. If you're not happy with the position it starts off in, then you can move it around. You can also make it bigger and smaller using the boxes on the corners. So I'm just going to format that the way I want it. I'm going to put it down here. You can also see that there is this here. You can actually hide it if you want to by clicking Hide Object, but I like to keep it there. So I'm just going to leave it where it is. You can also change the size of this background using the same way as everything else, using the boxes on the corners. You can also move it around. I'm just going to keep it the way it was. So you can preview your project again. So you can see that that's worked nicely. Right, moving on. If you click on Edit, you can change your background music. Now what this will do is it will give you a few options. You can select a music track just for this menu, or you can select a music track for all your menus. So this is your main menu, but you'll also possibly, if you've chosen to have chapters, you'll have a chapters menu as well. So if you select the music track just for this menu, it will only put that track on this main menu, or the chapters menu if you're on that one at a time. So if you want to have a flowing menu, then make sure you select a music track for all menus. If you want to make your projects fancier and have lots of different music, then that's totally up to you. Then you can just select a music track for this menu, and then you can have another one for the other ones. Same goes for deleting it. If you want to just delete the one for this menu, then you can, and if you want to delete all the music tracks for all menus, then you also can do that. I'm happy with the one I've got at the moment. It's just the default one which comes with it, so I'm going to leave it at that. Right, moving on. Motion menu. Now this is basically the motion picture which moves on your menu. Now, I haven't actually got one, so I can choose a background image or video. If I have a background image, obviously it will not move. It will just make it look a lot smarter. But there is already one on this menu as it came default, so I'm going to leave it there. However, if I want to have a background video to make it even fancier, however this will take up more disk space, but it does look a lot more professional, then you can select your own video for the background of your menu. And as I was saying with the other ones, you can do it just for this menu, or you can do it for all the menus. Totally up to you, totally what you want your style to look like on your menu. Right, that's that section done. You can also customize your buttons. So, this is your navigation buttons. You can see that mine was just this one here, but you can choose from all these different navigation buttons. I'm going to choose this one. You can then see that it has moved my original button, it's deleted it and replaced it with this one. But that's not a problem, because I can change the size and move it to where I want it to be. If you're happy with the buttons that you've chosen, then you can move on by clicking OK. Right, that is basically it for this tutorial. I hope it's helped you, and for everyone who requested it, I hope they've enjoyed it and it's been helpful for them. So yeah, once you're happy with your menu, I'm sure you'll take a lot longer than what I did, and it'll look a lot better as well. But once you're happy with it, then you can move on by clicking next, and you can put your disk in, and you can put a label in, and then you can burn your project to a disk and enjoy. Thanks very much.